This week on Cartoon Dumpster Dive, we cover the cartoon Star Street: The Adventures of the Star Kids. Joel,
Yes,
speaking
Andrew.
the Deutsch,
Sprechen Sie
Deutsch.
Deutsch?
Deutschland?
Dort versucht Toilette gehen?
No, I don't speak German. Despite going to Germany once.
I took 2 years of German in high school, and all I
Okay.
remember is how to ask to go to the bathroom, which is what I just said.
Okay.
And I remember the word for pencil, which is Bleistift,
Okay.
because it's just such an aggressive word for pencil.
Yeah, that is an aggressive word for pencil. I remember, I work for a German company, and I was working with a German guy, and he was just like, I was like, yeah, give me that Phillips head screwdriver. And he goes, why do you call it, what did you call it? And I was like, Phillips head. I was like, why? What do they call it in Germany? And it's like a Kraken screwdriver. And it's because it's a mix between cross and T in German.
Yeah.
And he goes, why do you call it Phillips? And I was like, oh, because the guy who invented it, his last name was
Phillips.
Phillips.
I
The
mean,
end.
when you have flathead and a Phillips, pretty easy to,
Yeah, pretty easy.
Yeah.
There was once an engineer who called it a straight blade screwdriver, and I was like, what the
the
hell is that?
You gonna shank somebody? What's going on with this? You about to shave your beard? Give me that straight blade.
We're going to hopefully make this episode 30 minutes long.
No promises.
Just to real preface it on that one.
Yeah.
I do have some predictions, though.
On?
On the, this is definitely a Japanese animation studio that did this.
Oh.
And then it was a Dutch funded, but it's just got that feeling that like whoever animated this definitely still snuck in some like references to their Japanese culture. I mainly think that because there's that one where they fly space kites
Okay.
and they look like Onis.
Ooh.
So I'm like,
Yeah.
maybe. But today, or this week, I always say today, this week, we are covering Star Street: The Adventures of the Star Kids.
Yep.
This-
I wish I had more to say about it, but yep. But Andrew,
And,
a little birdie told me that this was a request.
it sure was, Krister Edie, I hope is how you say your name. They requested it. I don't even. And yeah, they said almost no one I know has heard about Star Street. She even called it just Star Street, not Star Street: The Adventures of the Star Kids. But she's probably right, because this was almost goddamn impossible to find.
Yeah.
I barely found it. I found it yesterday, I believe. So, and I did actually find like all the songs, because this is a musical show.
Oh boy, aren't those always the best?
Yeah, well,
Yep.
sometimes, not all times. But speaking of music, every single one of these has an intro. So let's review it.
Let's review that theme tune. Yeah.
They lose me near the end.
Yeah,
That's
like
about it.
yeah, it's. I think when they started adding that like gimmicky sound effects into it.
When it randomly becomes an early Tool album
Yeah,
or 9 Inch Nails.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
that's where they lose me.
but
Not bad. I give it about a 6.
I was gonna-
maybe even a 7.
I was gonna do a 6 as well.
Okay.
It's honestly, if it wasn't for that one part, like I'm
Yeah.
digging the synthesizer in it, I'm digging the beat, but that one part, I'm just like, you almost finished it strong.
Yeah, you almost finished it strong, and then you just kind of like, you just trip at the finish lining, so to speak.
You're like one of those marathon runners that shit their pants at the finish line.
Hey, sometimes you got to shit your pants to be a winner, which is why I'm okay with being a loser.
No, I mean like you shit your pants, but you still don't win.
That's got to be a terrible feeling. You got a load in your pants, and you've lost.
And you're not even like a high place loser. You're like middle of the pack. Like at that point, just step off the course.
Your last place.
Just
Oh man,
man.
I done shit my britches.
At that point, just don't. Just go use the bathroom. Go find a bathroom.
Yeah, just
and
go
use
into
it.
the porta potty and scoop it out.
Oh man,
So Joel, how did this show get made?
Andrew, I wish. I mean, I feel like we've already discussed a lot of that. I mean, I wish there was a lot to go off with this show, but this show could not find a lot of information. What I do have that this is a Dutch American animated series, ran between the years of 1989 and 1990. Total of 34 episodes. It was really, really popular in Europe, especially the UK and Benelux.
The Benelux Union.
Yes, which I think that's Belgian, like Netherlands region, I'm guessing.
In Luxembourg. For all you geography buffs out there.
Ooh, all 8 of you.
Yeah.
But that's really all I got on this. I couldn't find too much more about this. There was all the characters in this though, all kind of fashioned after like horoscopes. Like you got Leo, Aries.
That's why they're the Star Kids.
Yep,
So
makes
hey,
sense.
what's your sign?
Aquarius?
I wish I knew that song off the top of my head.
The season of the Aquarius, or whatever it's called.
The Aquarius. Yeah, that would have been a great joke.
That
but
would have been.
Fucked it up because I don't know that goddamn song. Anywho,
What
I'm a
about
Gemini.
Gemini, okay.
Yeah.
I wish
I had those 2 little kids.
I wish I knew what that stuff meant. You know.
If you're into that stuff, I know it means you're annoying, but
I think everybody knows that one person where, like, if you tell them, oh, yeah, I'm an Aquarius, they will be like, well, according to the signs, you're this.
according to this shit that's definitely made up, you're a. Well, according to this, Joel, you're Flip, the character.
Oh,
who
Flip,
is
the
based
character.
off of Aquarius.
Okay.
He is a swimmer and the village idiot of the series.
Sounds about right on par with me.
I'm actually Gemmo and Jimmy.
Okay.
The 2 mischievous twins. They're the littlest. That's one of the few episodes I was able to find. How fitting that the Gemini finds the episode focused on the Gemini. I hear we're selfish or what the fuck ever.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't believe in that stuff.
I don't fucking know. Message the show and tell me what we are.
Oh, great, Andrew. We're just going to get a bunch of messages. You guys are idiots.
We get that anyway. So that's nothing. That will be nothing new.
We
to
ain't
what
going to
get
be
normally.
phased by that.
Yeah. please. It's either that or a cartoon. Actually, most of our messages are positive, I would say. Or they're like, you guys should do this cartoon. I really hate it when they request a cartoon we've already covered, because I feel like I've let them down. Like the episode was so unworthy of their attention. They were just like, you should do this one. I'm like, we did.
Maybe we should redo that. That's what we'll do. We'll do Cartoon Dumpster Dive remix, and we'll go back and do our old episodes.
We might actually be doing a remix with a certain guest who was on our Cops episode.
No.
I don't know. We'll find out.
Stay
Sooner or
tuned.
later. Stay tuned. So now, let's move on to this voice cast.
Hit me with all these foreign names, if there are any.
Actually, there aren't any.
Oh, surprising.
Yeah, they got a Western studio to do the voices.
Okay.
Charlie Adler is the voice cast of Star Street: The Adventures of the Star Kids are Charlie Adler is Jemo, Moon, and Saji.
Okay.
Sherilyn is Bubbles, Jimmy, and Virgie. Patrick Penny is Toro, and Allison Argo is Moon.
Nice.
Those are all the people that are credited, like
Good.
have a credit, at least on IMDb. And I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. I'm not really gonna put my best effort in this one, because they didn't put their best effort in this show.
So why should we, right, Andrew?
So why should we? You're goddamn right. And for their other works, we have Charlie Adler is in Red Dead Redemption 2 as the local pedestrian.
Okay.
Sherry Lynn is Mom's Disgust in Inside Out, and
All right.
also the mom in the original Toy Story.
Very nice.
Patrick Penny is a bar customer in The Terminator.
Nice.
And finally, Allison Argo is a dancer in Between the Lines.
Ooh.
So let's get into this show.
Let's.
As we said earlier, all the characters. This is a Smurfs
Rip off.
kind of show.
100%. Yeah.
Very rare. I don't think we've ever done, like, we do a lot of G.I. Joe and TMNT ripoffs. I feel like we have yet to do, like, somebody that has ripped off the Smurfs.
I don't think we have.
Barely. Like, I know, like, I can think of another one that's like the Snorks,
Okay. Yeah.
but I feel like, aren't those the same? Since I've done no research, I feel like that's the same studio, but I don't really know.
Yeah.
But anyway, these little guys' gimmick is they sing, and also they are based on the horoscope. Horoscopes, plural. So we have Airy, who's Aries. Flip is Aquarius. Leo is Leo. Saggy is Sagittarius. Bubbles is Pisces. Moon is Cancer. Cap is Capricorn. Scorpio is Scorpio.
Oh.
Taureau is Taurus. Vigi is Virgo. Libby is Libra. Gemmo and Jimmy are Gemini. So, and they all look like their respective ones. Like Tauro's got horns.
Yeah.
Scorpio's got a scorpion thing. Yeah, and because we're the, what is it? We're like, the Geminis are like two babies, I think. So that's why
like
there's
twins
two of them.
or something.
We're the two-face motherfuckers of life. No one ever trusts us because we're whatever. Or we have male and female personality traits. I don't know. I don't know what Geminis are really known for.
Do you think Two-Face from Batman was a Gemini?
I don't know. Let's look it up because now I'm curious. Live lookup.
I like to think, imagine if they made a Batman comic where it's like you find out all the villains' horoscopes, and
He was born December 7th.
So he's I don't know what he's not a Gemini.
He's a Sagittarius. What a motherfucking waste.
They could have done better.
They could have. Come on, DC.
Get it together, guys.
Get it together. Come on, James Gunn. James Gunn could canonically change his name into DC.
I think
okay,
so.
let's actually get into the show.
Getting so sidetracked.
So, the antagonists are these blobs. The henchmen are green. The main one is pink.
Yep.
A lot of pink things. There's Momo the glutton, an enormous pink blob that lives on the junk planet close to Star Street. He makes he wants them to steal their food and feed him. Oh, and he stinks. He's a stinky guy. We also have the Great One, who's he's like a genie, I guess.
Okay.
But he's a big pink thing.
Okay.
So you got that going on. And you also have Greybeard, which is the Star Street's version of the Sandman. He gives people good dreams.
Say your prayers,
And
don't forget to include everyone.
And so, yeah, the premise of the show is they just have little adventures. And they learn lessons. I was able to watch a few of them. There's one where they have a book about the littlest dragon.
Okay.
The Great One is about to read them, but he's got to go on a date.
What?
So Jimmy and Gemma, yeah, I don't know. But he leaves because he's like, well, they don't like to be kept waiting. I'll read to you kids when you get back.
Single
I
parents,
think he's
am
like
I
their
right?
dad. Yeah. So Jimmy and Gemma steal the book, and it's the littlest dragon, and then this dragon comes back. The whole premise of this episode is they're in the way, and they talk to him they're like, we know we're the littlest, but you don't gotta talk to us that way. And then this dragon is huge, and he's like, I don't want to go back because I'm not the littlest here anymore. I'm gonna bring the ruckus. And they're like, being the littlest isn't that bad. The lesson is, if you're little, people will take care of you. Because all the good things they mention is we get hot cocoa when we're cold and we don't have to do any work. It's just I was like, this is a terrible lesson. Hey, if you're small, you don't got to do anything.
You can be
people will think
lazy
you're
as
cute.
fuck.
Yeah, you can be lazy as fuck. Which, in my experience, most short people work fairly harder than tall people.
Short people, man.
Short people got no reason. What's that? We're singing a lot.
It's
We're
short
gonna get copyright
people
strike.
got no reason to live.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. That song.
It's Randy Newman, right?
Yeah. The guy who brought you, you've got a friend in me, also did Short People.
Also, Studio 100 is the current owner of this amazing series.
Yep. I doubt they will be doing anything with this. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I bet you could. Okay, we did this with Pittsburgh Pigs.
Well,
and I'm gonna put a challenge on this.
Okay.
We can't say it goes to Adult Swim.
okay, no, I've got it.
Okay.
Do you've got your, if Cartoon Dumpster Dive ever blew up, you want to get
Right.
Street Sharks into the Fast and the Furious franchise.
And make an animated version of Shawshank Redemption. So we have two goals of the podcast.
I want to add a third goal to the point
Okay,
where
let's hear it.
we
Yeah.
create a new version of Star Street,
Okay.
but we go the way of Teen Titans Go. So we can recreate these characters. We can make them more like what the typical, this is what your horoscope is going to look like. We can make them all look
Right.
different. But then we can start bringing in cheap ripoffs of other things. So the first thing I thought of, Transformers. Have a Transformer
Okay.
come to their planet, like Starscream, but we can call him like Sun Yell or something.
I'm surprised that's not already a Transformer.
And we can just make it like just a ridiculous, just slapstick humor.
I can definitely see that, actually. I think that would actually work out. And they still sing.
And they still sing.
Yeah, you still got to sing, because I think like the way this would work is they already didn't learn lessons that much,
No.
really. But you they could learn like anti-lessons. Just like give all these kids bad advice. I mean, brain rot is in full effect with Gen Z and Gen Alpha anyway. We might as well lean into
I
it.
know.
You know? Not saying that our generation's like content was any better. Clearly, if you listen to this show, you know that by now most of your most millennial content, like cartoons and stuff, was just consume, like buy our product. We basically just watched commercials, and now these even the good ones, like even good properties like Transformers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, it was all just consume our product. So it's like I was thinking about this today.
Okay.
This isn't a Reagan show, but I wanted to just point out, even the things we like are because of Ronald Reagan, and that's still somehow a bad thing.
Andrew, you mean to tell me you did not learn the valuable lesson with all the cartoons of our childhood that if you're a hero, you can cause millions and millions of dollars of property damage with no issues. As long as you're saving the day, it doesn't matter if the roads get tore up, if a building collapses, you save the day.
That's true. Millions upon it makes you thankful that superheroes aren't real.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So what did you think of the songs? Let's get back to the episode just a little bit. What did you think of the songs? Were you able to find any?
I watched one episode.
Right.
It was painful. I stopped after that. I was like, this is enough. Didn't watch any of the songs or
Just
listen
one
to
and
any of the
done?
songs.
The songs were fine. They sounded like they hired a guy who happened to have a keyboard. The music is very Dutch. I'll give it that. Like, that was the part that I'm like, I wonder what makes this so Dutch, because there it is.
Oh, yep, that's it. Mm-hmm.
That's it. There's that European sound that I know so well.
Yep, the clogs and the windmill and everything, right?
They love electronica.
Oh yeah.
Although, yeah, didn't all the Star Street kids do wear clogs? I'm pretty sure. Or
Hey.
no, they're barefoot.
I think they're barefoot, but I mean that's
Some of them wear shoes, but they're not quite clogs.
it shows you how much
Also,
I know about
isn't
the Dutch.
I think Swedish people are clogs, by the way.
Well, also Dutch people, all right.
I don't know. I've been to Deutschland, and I don't know that.
Deutschland.
Deutschland. I went to a castle. There was nobody with clogs there. I assume that fad is gone. But
Well, I would.
Who knows?
I would imagine wearing wood shoes are not very comfortable.
Didn't stand the test of time. I think it's like ceremonial.
Yeah.
Like when I'm trying to think of a culture that has like a ceremonial garb.
I mean, doesn't our military have a ceremonial?
I guess,
gold?
yeah, they have their dress blues and their
Yeah.
dress whites and their. I only know the Navy. I don't know what the other ones do.
I feel like every culture has that. Like Hispanics, they'll dress up for their like festivals and even
Yeah,
in,
but I
like-
don't know what they're called.
Oh, I don't
Like,
either.
I don't know.
But
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think of. What the fuck they're called? Like, of course, other cultures dress up in like ceremonial garb. But I don't. Well, I guess I only know what the fucking shoes are called for Deutsch. You didn't come here for culture, listener. You came here for us to talk about Star Street, which we're also not doing a great job of either.
I mean, there's not a lot. This show, yes, this show might have made it big in Europe, but I swear I don't think this show had any American presence. If any.
I don't think so either. I think the Smurfs kind of took over.
Yeah. And look, here's my thing. The Smurfs, I don't think the Smurfs was a good series to try to copy, if that makes sense. Because
Yeah,
I
feel what you're saying.
yeah, I feel like the Smurfs, like that whole story, that whole formula that they created, it was like a one and done. To the point,
I don't think they were truly trying to copy the Smurfs. I think they just made some guys.
they was just like, let's go for it.
Yeah, I don't think the Smurfs came into play because really, I think it's like the Smurfs, but I don't think it's a ripoff of the Smurfs.
Yeah.
I think it's just some funny little dudes
Short people, am I
just
right?
doing. Yeah, they got no reason to live anyway. Joel,
Don't
I
hate us.
believe-
Hate Randy Newman.
Or do I don't give a fuck. It's time for your new reoccurring segment: reviews that sparkle in the stars and reviews that have a bad horoscope.
Ooh, that was a good one this week, Andrew.
Yeah, thank you. I
would-
have to have something good come up from this one.
I know. I wish I actually had some reviews to give you this week, though, Andrew.
Every time, isn't this like the third week in a row that you're like, I don't have anything?
Like, there were people leaving stores on these reviews, but they don't want to write anything about it.
That's fair, I feel.
But hey, we gave you our own review on Cartoon
That's right.
Dumpster Dive.
A cartoon dumpster dive review, not a seal of approval.
No.
If you somehow are nostalgic for this, don't go back. Although if you are, I would love the reason as to why. Although most of the time when somebody tells me why they're nostalgic of something that sucks, it's a really, really sad story. It's
Yeah.
like, this is the last show I watched with my dad before he was hit by a car. And you're like, oh,
I'm sorry
it
you
was great.
I'm sorry you and your dad didn't pick a better show to watch.
Yeah, I'm sorry you had to go through that experience and
And your dad getting hit by
and
a
your
car.
dad die. I honestly don't know which was harder for you to watch. Boom! I got him. Okay. I believe that wraps up Star Street, The Adventures of the Star Kids. Joel, any closing thoughts?
Don't watch it. I mean,
If you even had the option, you don't really even have the option.
you can find a couple of episodes on YouTube, but it's not even worth your time. Go do something else with your day.
Yeah. Read your horoscope.
There you go.
Get into that. Be your friend group's least liked friend.
And while you're at it, get into tarot card readings.
Yeah,
Just really dive into
witchcraft and really just dig your heels in the obnoxious personality. It's like, or be a crypto bro. You can do those two things, and you can be, with a little effort, the worst.
it.
If you would like to support the show, also podcasting makes you the worst.
Yeah.
Have you heard all those stereotypes? Apparently we're in the clear because we don't tell people fitness or any kind of real life advice.
We
You kind of skirt. Yeah. We're like, hey, you remember this piece of shit cartoon? And so we don't fall into any of those stereotypes, which is nice.
Yep.
I appreciate that a lot. Okay. Let's put a ribbon on this. If you would like to support the show, you can go to our Patreon, patreon.com/cartoondd. There we have a $5 tier that gets you stickers, bonus episodes, extended audio episodes, access to our Discord, and more, maybe. We have a website, cartoondumpsterdive.com, the single best place to send your request for a cartoon for us to cover, 2 cartoons to go head-to-head in a junkyard brawl, or anything else you might want us to talk about. Unless you're a Patreon subscriber, then you can go to the request channel.
Yes.
That's top billing. So if you really, really want us to cover your show, pay us money. We have an X handle, Cartoon DD, Cartoon Dumpster Dive on any other social media. And as always, we appreciate a 5-star review on the podcasting platform of your choice so we can be popular in other places than the Benelux Union. Have a great rest of your week.
See ya. Nice. Now do it in a Dutch accent.
How did the Dutch sound? This week on Cartoon Dumpster Dive, we cover Star Street, the adventures of the Star Kids.
I love it.
This has been a Lugho podcast.